Welcome to the Pathways to Wholeness podcast. I'm Michael Warmoth, and I thank you for joining us for this next episode of meditative teaching. Please note that these meditations were recorded in a tropical environment with the windows and doors open, so you will hear birds and other sounds in the background. Try not to let them distract you from the words. Okay, let's just settle in, relax, maybe take a few breaths and just listen to the music before the teaching starts. As we awaken and become conscious of how we have held ourselves separate from the truth, and conscious of how we have relied on control, we begin to wonder why or what might be so awful that we've had to go to such drastic efforts to keep ourselves from knowing what was inside. If we look carefully at our beliefs and ideas and begin to get some clarity, we might see that we have a firm conviction there is something wrong with us or something bad about us, something that might give us the idea that we have no right to live or be, and that we must always be on guard and on watch to monitor ourselves and to keep ourselves in control. That is what the ego is based on. The idea that there is something within us that is so dangerous to our security and safety, to our ability to be and live in the world. We must remain in control. But that is not the perspective of truth. That is not what we come to understand when we accept the truth. For the perspective of truth is that there is only unity. And that unity is perfect. It is whole and complete. It is missing nothing. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is bad. If we are to proceed on our journey of awakening and becoming conscious, we are doing it from the perspective of the ego, where there is something wrong or something about us that isn't right, then we will be forever tangled up in the world of duality, trying to right what is wrong, trying to fix what is bad. From the perspective of the truth, we know there is nothing wrong or bad about us. And our journey then is to recognize that what we actually fear is simply our authentic self. What we fear is the power and the energy, the fullness of who we really are. The ego was given the job of limiting and controlling and denying. Restraining, restricting. To the point where we are afraid of our own selves. Just like prisoners who are released after a lifetime in a small cell end up returning to that cell over and over again because they cannot cope with the energy of a free life. We are afraid of our own free life. The ego tells us that's because there's something wrong with us. there's something bad about us. We have no right to exist, to be free, to live fully. The truth says it is okay. It is just a process of awakening and becoming conscious. Coming back to ourselves, to our true home within. There is nothing wrong, and our timeline is perfect. One instant of knowing the truth makes up for everything. We may believe that we have to become enlightened to find peace. But that is not the truth. You can find peace instantly in any moment if we will simply acknowledge and accept this moment is perfect, that our journey is perfect, that we are perfect. If we were to fully acknowledge and accept that as true, then we could come to peace with ourselves. This journey is not about what we think. It's about what we know. And though we think, we may not know the truth. Actually, we do. The truth is all there is. There is nothing but the truth. It is impossible that we don't know it. But we distract ourselves from it. We focus on other things. We avoid it. We deny it. We are afraid of it. But what is there to be afraid of? There is pain. It is painful. Our separation from love and truth and peace has been painful. There is much loss. And so there is much grief. If we are not accustomed to expressing our grief, then we will avoid the truth. We must be careful not to judge ourselves for where we are at in our journey. Or exactly the point we should be. the only point we can be. We have choices to make and decisions to change, conditioning to undo, and most of all, we need to strengthen our ability to accept and acknowledge that the truth is the only reality. We are easily sidetracked to seeing bad and wrong, and we may not even be conscious of how much that permeates our lives. When the truth says that everything is perfect, that means everything. And that is because the truth is that everything arises out of an infinite, timeless consciousness. And that is all there is. It is hard sometimes to fully grasp the enormity of that truth, that everything is one, of one mind, of one consciousness, one power. But that is reality. That is the truth. And we can see how that is diametrically opposed to the ego's view that we are alone and struggling. Get it right. To do the right thing and be the right way. In a world of good and bad, right and wrong, where evil seems to be a true power, there is no such possibility. What seems to be the power of evil is the power of our own mind to deny the truth. It is not unexpected that we would struggle to completely accept the truth. It could not really be any other way. But the miracle is that we are waking up, that we are breaking out of that conditioning and that endless cycle of the ego, trying to control more and more. There is nothing to control, nothing to do. In a perfect world, which is the expression of a perfect consciousness. Everything happens exactly as it should. That is the truth. It is unavoidable. We cannot find peace through conflict. And conflict is the nature of the ego. We must come to peace with ourselves exactly as we are in this moment. Be compassionate and understanding, forgiving and grateful. Give up our resentments and judgments. Yes, there is healing to be done. There are painful traumas and memories. But there is an intelligence and wisdom within us which knows exactly what to do if we will trust it. If we will let go of control. If we will surrender our battle. If we are honest with ourselves, we will see we are very weary in this battle. But we will always be welcome by the truth. The truth will always be our companion, no matter how far away it seems to the ego. It is always all there is, everywhere, all the time. We have to let that sink in. The truth is all there is, everywhere, all the time. And every judgment, every resentment, every occasion of hatred and contempt says no, the truth is not here, right now. And then we are in true conflict. Within every one of us is the deep desire to end the conflict, to come home to peace, to the truth. We will let that desire surface within us. We will surrender to that desire. We will see that there is that presence and power within us that will guide us and heal us. That light, that infinite consciousness is right here, right now, ready to fill our awareness with the presence of the truth. Let that desire fill you, and the grace will come. Thank you for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you'd like more information on these meditations and teachings, visit pathwaystosurrender.com. You might be interested in our other podcast, Pathways to Surrender. These are guided meditations designed to support you in letting go of whatever tensions or false ideas you might be holding about how things really are, and reaching a state of peace and surrender. That's Pathways to Surrender. Look for the next episode soon. We're uploading them every couple of days. See you next time.